All right, enough of that. Enough of the lead-in stuff. We got some good stuff to get to tonight. Thank you all for being here. I know this is impromptu. I just created this a couple hours ago, so if those of you didn't know about it, you're getting notifications now. Thanks for jumping in and joining us. Leave all those puke and cheese emojis that you can, because we're sick of the Packers. We're sick of them. They make us throw up. They make us puke. And I love the comments I'm seeing already in here. All the stuff about Jervon Dexter being the Hulk. I love reading you guys' comments. This is fun already. So I'm going to let you guys know right off the bat, we are going to talk about Odunze tonight. We're going to have a lot of conversation about him because he is homegrown talent from where I am. And also we spent a lot of time on the farm where I grew up. My family actually knows the Bunnells, his grandparents. I don't, so I'd love to have that claim, but I don't. My brother runs a farm machinery business, the family business, that I walked away from like an idiot, and now I'm sitting here podcasting. What was I thinking? What am I doing? Here I am living all my life questions out right in front of you guys. But there's a lot of good stuff to talk about with that. We're going to get into that. The reason being, I watched Chicago Bears release their Meet the Rookies this morning, and I genuinely felt inspired. Literally. I didn't want to make a video because I'm making other videos. I just wanted to go live and talk to you guys about Rome Odunze. But before then, I'm working on something called the Off-Season Game Show. Been putting it together for a while. I got 3 content creators. We got 3 subscribers. Some of you guys who have been on and answered the questions already know I'm chopping that up. I'm going to make a video of it. The last one to come on was Shorty from the Bears Country podcast. So I'm going to bring him in, and we're just going to talk football for 15 minutes. And then he's got a show tonight. I'm actually going on their show. So I wanted to put a plug for them. Those of you who aren't, like, let me just bring him in. Boom. There's Shorty. Whoa. There he is. Thanks, Shorty. Thanks for coming on.
What's up, Adam? Thanks for having me on, man.
This is impromptu. We were just doing the other video I'm doing. He was nice enough to join me and help me. We started talking, like, literally, guys, in the green room. We just sit there and we chop it up, just like you guys. We're just Bears fans chopping it up, talking about the season, how we're getting closer. We're 5 days away from the rookies reporting, and we're 8 days away from the vets. That bodes well for Darnell Wright. He's going to have an amazing season, but we were sitting chatting. So we thought we'd come on and chat for a couple minutes. And then, we'll see you tonight on the Bears Country podcast. So thanks for joining me. What thoughts do you have so far, Shorty?
First off, I want to apologize. I thought I muted that when I burped, but I had to burp. So I thought I hit the mute button, but it didn't actually press. So I apologize for being disgusting. Listen, Adam, it's always great to talk with you because I love your views and your statistical breakdowns and your just the things that you come up with. For example, the recording that we just did for the thing you're working on. I can't wait to see it because all the stuff that you do is just it's the stuff I wish I could do if I had more time. And so I love that you're doing that for all of us Bears fans. So thank you for having me on with you tonight. I want to kind of talk about, before we get into we're going to talk about this. I'm sure I'm going to say this again on our show on BCP tonight, 9:00 Eastern time, which you will be on. We'll see you there. All the excitement, the moment where we know they traded Justin, and for me, it was like I still couldn't believe they were actually going to draft Caleb. Right? I was like, Roger Goodell is going to get to the podium, and they're going to trade that pick, and then they're still going to draft a quarterback, and then get a boatload of other picks, right? And so then they drafted him, right? So then the excitement, and now it's like,
and him out there on the stage with the claw right off the bat, down in the fans, like he built the culture from day one.
Yes, for sure. And his charisma at the podium, and he's walking away, he turns like, oh, go Bears,
Go Bears.
He's always saying go Bears or the Bears and everything else. You could tell he is totally bought into what this city is going to bring for him in his career as a quarterback. And so we were in this honeymoon stage, right? And the whole off season. And then you start to get into this quiet time, right? And now here we are. How many days? 8 days, 5 days. It's 8 days.
5 for the rookies, 8 for the vets.
5 for the rookies. Yep. I'm starting to get nervous, man. Because,
and I don't think I helped you just a minute ago. I'm going to pull it up for everyone to see, but I don't think I helped you because I pointed out that no first-round rookie wins their first game in their rookie season. Now, it's different if they sat a year and waited, but in their rookie season, first game of the season, no rookie wins that game. It helps that we're playing Tennessee, though. I mean, I'm very optimistic, but I just told Shorty on the screen, I said, I'm honestly going to consider that a 50-50 game because no matter what, there's two positions. Quarterback has to have a rude awakening into the league. He does. So I expect, don't crucify me in the chat, I expect Caleb to have at least an interception in the first game. But I think our situation is different. I think the defense will carry this team on that first game. Let me pull up what we were just looking at. I was showing him. Not there. Here. This is Andrew Luck, the generational prospect, the only one that a lot of people are comparing Caleb Williams to. This is his first game against the Bears in 2012. The Bears handed it to him. Now, remember, the 2012 Bears were a good team, a very good team. In fact, if we pull up, that's this last year. Let's get out of here. Adam, don't ruin things. Don't ruin things. Let's go back to where we were. The Bears beat them 41-21. Alshon Jeffrey, Robbie Gould, Matt Forte, Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall. That was a team that is really the only comparable team to where we stand now with the wide receiver weapons. I think we even have better weapons, but you really have to let Rome Odunze, get into the league and play before you can claim that. But I genuinely think we have a better core now. But even on his first game, he threw 300 and let me go back and look. I got to go back to that page. Oh, now I'm ruining everything.
300 and something yards and one touchdown, three interceptions, I think it was.
Yeah, 309 yards, one touchdown, 3 interceptions for Andrew Luck on that game. And Jay Cutler, 21 of 35. When's the last time we had a 300-yard passing quarterback? It's going to be nice to see again. But
yeah, well, I challenged you on this in the recording that we did just a few minutes ago. Is I would like to know because you said no rookie quarterback has won his first game in his first season.
First game of the season, not right. Sitting behind and waiting. Yeah.
Like if he didn't sit for a year, if it's his first game as a rookie, they've all lost it. I think I challenged you because I know you're going to pull up these stats now. I'd like to see what. In fact, you might even have them by the time you come on our show. What were the teams they were facing? So Andrew Luck was facing a team in their Super Bowl window, right? With a well-established defense full of studs and an established head coach and a pretty good quarterback, everything.
That was right at the beginning of the stud years, wasn't it? Wasn't that Urlacher and Briggs, weren't they right at the beginning of the 2010s? Wasn't Urlacher drafted in
2001?
Right. 2001. Oh, I'm thinking a decade later. Yeah, you're right.
14.
Yeah. See, now he was 02 to 14 and Briggs was right after him 03 to right around the same time. We're at the end. We're when they're well established. That was a solid defense.
I think that year was like Tim Jennings and Peanut and
we were stacked. We should have been in more Super Bowls. We should have been. Anyways, neither here nor there.
But I'd like to see what the stats are for those quarterbacks that are playing against. What team are they playing? How good was their defense? How good was the other quarterback? You if you want to compare or contrast that to Caleb Williams going into his first game, that's against the Titans with a new head coach, a second-year quarterback. Their defense is, we just took one of their better defensive players. So, I mean,
yeah, but did you see they signed? Now this isn't a huge. He's getting older, but Jamal Adams. I think they signed Jamal Adams today. Free agent, one of the few remaining free agents left, and they also, they added several pieces. I think the Titans are doing some good things, but still, they've got brand new offensive linemen that they drafted. They've got some weaknesses in the holes there. I really think if this game is going to be won by the Bears, it's going to have to be on the defensive line. We're going to have Montez Sweat and DeMarcus Walker and Jervon Dexter game one show up. That's going to have to happen for us to be able to give Caleb the latitude.
It's going to take that generational quarterback for the Bears, at least, because I'm a nut. So I predicted them to be 13-4 and win this and become the first team in NFL history to win Super Bowl with a rookie quarterback. That's my.
Hey, I'm with you. I've actually said the same thing. I said this is my bold take. I don't expect that, but it's totally possible this year, 100% with our schedule, having the 3 worst teams from last season on our schedule, and all the other schedule is the same as the rest of the NFC North, but we have the easiest outside of that. Packers are overrated. Packers. So I started a thing on my channel. You guys in the chat, I can't put it on this format on StreamYard, but the puke emoji and the cheese emoji. If you guys can get it, get the puke emoji and the cheese emoji going. I'm doing it a lot, and I'm on Twitter, dude. I'm gonna give a little shout out there to Carl as well. Carl, boom. He was on the show as well. Just so you guys know, he's one of the content creators as well from Diane Smile.
That was me.
Also
That was
from
me.
the Bears Country podcast. Oh, that was you. Sorry.
That was me.
It's the same logo. You guys use the same logo. That's funny.
No, he uses the Thigh and Smile, which is much better than because Carl has his own podcast too.
Yeah.
He kind of has it's very similar. It's T and S, but it's
the nice thing about the format you guys have at Bears Country Podcast, you have a team, so you guys can look through these comments. When I'm sitting here trying to do it on my own, I try to go over to the side here. It's hard to catch everything and do it all. It's stuff a lot of you guys don't realize, but it's fun.
That's why we brought on Carl, because I was, I'd be off in La La Land typing the chat and looking at chat, and all of a sudden it's like, what was the question? So I get it.
These are all the puke and cheese emojis.
JC1 said in chat here, this could be a year of firsts. And so to finish my point, if he's going to win the Super Bowl as a rookie, in my mind, the first one to do it, why not be the first one to win the first game he plays against the Titans? Because we're better. We're a better team.
Vegas has this as the odds to win that game, I think, by 3 points. And on a Vegas spread, that's actually a big spread. You'll see the close spreads at 0.5 point, 1 point, 1.5, 2 points at the most. Mm-hmm. A big spread is actually 3 points. So we shouldn't lose that game. I think I get your concern. There's a lot of hype. He's got to get in and dive in and get a hold of the playbook. The big advantage you hear of is, and I'm just going back to Caleb and how he's been unique and been different from everyone else. You hear him. The thing that set me back was, or made me take a step back and be like, dude, this guy is special. And there's a lot of things, but they all have to get the playbook. They all have to get into OTAs. They all have to get into rookie minicamp. But then when they were leaving all of that, they were talking to him and he said, yeah, we're going to organize some stuff. I'm going to take my trips. I need to have my break too. And I totally get that. Anybody who works the job, you have to have a break. And they're going to be in for a 17-game season with 4 preseason games when they played 12, 13 in college. This is a huge difference for rookies to come into the league. But then he said, not just with the wide receivers, the tight ends, but we're going to get some linemen and some defensive guys there too to all work on it together. I never heard of that stuff. I mean, obviously other people have done it, but when he said that, I was just like, he's going to organize all these guys together, get the linemen too, get the defensive guys. So it's not just going to be, oh, we're running through this. It's going to be competitive. We're going to be barking at each other. We're going to have some, like, I really think he's going to be prepared for game one. 100%.
Well, to finish my thought of my fear is that my QB PTSD is starting to settle in again.
Don't bring up Tyson Bagent. I'm not bringing him up. I'll put you back in the back room.
I'll kick myself out. It's just the QB thing with the Bears. It's like the honeymoon period. Now we're ramping up for training camp, and I won't go on about it because I know what you want to talk about, Rome Odunze, but just I'm getting that like anxiety. Like, man, please be exactly what we think you are. Please don't be a bust.
Okay, let's walk through this though. So with your concern, do you think Caleb is more like Mitch Trubisky?
No.
More like Justin Fields?
Nope.
Or more like Jay Cutler?
Oh. Yeah.
We didn't have Jay Cutler as a rookie. I get that, but think about that.
He's probably more like Jay Cutler.
He's probably more like established Jay Cutler. Not the Jay Cutler that came to the Bears. The Bears weren't. We're not going to dive into all that. There's things to
be a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, this is guys. This is meant to be a 30-45-minute podcast tonight. I just want to talk about Rome, but I think your concern is genuine, because we've gone through so much. We've gone through. I was right there with you, with Mitch, even with Kyle Orton, I was there hoping, not as much high expectation or optimism, but hoping. And with Mitch Trubisky, with Justin Fields especially, but I was realistic on him too, because we knew from day one he was developmental. We knew that. They said that from day one. That's why they brought someone else in to start. That's why Foles was here. We knew he was developmental, but the upside of him, what you saw in college, was so high that it got the expectations so high. And then people like me, where you see him improve every year, and then you go through 2022 especially, that first game against the Niners, you feel that first game and you feel the excitement and the electric of him
I
sliding
was
across
at
the
that game.
field. You
Yeah.
were there?
Yeah.
I was at Santa Clara in 2013 when Jay Cutler came back. We were down 17 at halftime, and Jay Cutler led us back with 3 touchdowns to Brandon Marshall in the second half. We won that game. And I'll tell you, Niners fans are actually pretty cool. So I was in a sea of Niners fans. And they were actually really cool to me. There's some places I don't want to be the fan there when we're coming back, but Niners fans are actually pretty cool.
Hey, there was Niners fans at that game in front of us, so I got to do a short and they were like, subscribe to Bears Country Podcast. I was like, Niners fans. They were really cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. So I get it, because we felt that excitement with Justin Fields in 2022. Then you watch him go for basically the rushing record of a quarterback. I mean, cut short just because. But a single game record was broken, and then season should have been broken. But
yeah,
I mean, and then not only that, but I don't know if you knew that on my channel, one of the first things that I brought up was in 2022, of the top 100 on both ESPN and NFL, top 100 throws of the year, he had 6 of them. No other quarterback had. So his highlight reel was so special, and it was so neat to watch him. You just knew in your head as a Bears fan, this guy's going to come around. He's going to flip the switch, and he's going to do this consistently. He's going to do it every game. He's improving every game. He's going to be him. And then the rest of the team just wasn't built for it. And I still think he's going to – I'm going to hold firm to the analysis I did. I think he's going to keep improving. But as he stands right now, he's an average quarterback. I don't think he's bottom of the league. A lot of places will make you think, oh, he's a kick returner. Bull freaking crap. He's not a kick returner. He just needs to develop more. He might be one of those guys like a Geno Smith that takes some years to develop and comes into his own in league in year 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the Bears aren't waiting for that. We're in rebuild now, where we've got Keenan Allen here now. We already had DJ Moore. We got Cole Kmet. We've added Gerald Everett. We had DeAndre Swift. It was just not the right time for Justin.
And he got is, incremental is still getting better, but he got incrementally better. He didn't get worse in any category from year to year. There was signs he could improve, but he wasn't, the leaps. Like, was he going to take that leap in this year as opposed to what Caleb can do as a rookie? I mean, I think that's why ultimately we are where we are right now.
Okay, so I'm keeping you longer than I said I would, but I want to ask you this question before you go, and then I'll talk about Rome, and we'll see you tonight. But
okay,
with Caleb, what would give you some confidence to get past the QB PTSD? Because if he's just like every other first-year quarterback starting game 1 and he loses to the Titans, and then realistically game 2 against the Texans is not a cakewalk. If we go 0-2, are you going to, because it will happen. There will be mass hysteria. There will be pandemonium. Everyone panic. When in reality, that's not the situation. It's a rookie quarterback. If we go 0-2, I'm still not down on Caleb. I'm not going to be out there making the bash Caleb videos. I'm going to be saying, okay, guys, this is every first-round quarterback in the first game of history, loses their game. Even Andrew Luck lost his first game. He won his second game, and it was a nail-biter, and it was close. But even if we lose to the Texans, it's not like we were playing the Panthers for our second game. Give it a shot here. Let's get into game 3, 4, 5. Let's see how we do against the Rams in week 4. Let's see what happens. What's going to make you feel better, even if we go 0-2? I know going 2-0 would make you feel a lot better. It would make everyone feel good. But what's going to make you feel better about Caleb?
I mean, like last year, I thought Jordan Love's gone or Aaron Rodgers is gone. Jordan Love's taken over. We're gonna win this first game. I was so in the dumps it took me a while to get 2 weeks to get out of that one.
I never bet money. So I live in Vegas, as you know. I don't ever bet. Gamble responsibly, everyone. I never bet a ton, but I never bet money on the first couple of games of the season because it's so unpredictable every season. I bet more money than I should on that one, a couple $100 on that one, because I felt it. I was so excited. It was a Bears fan taking over. And when we lost that one, I just sat there like, why did I do that? Why was
and it wasn't
so hyped.
And it wasn't like like we lost it. It wasn't like Justin threw for 350 yards, and it was kind of like so this I think, to answer your question, this year what would continue my excitement would be is if we did lose that game, I would like to see the defense having played well enough that it gave us hope moving forward that they were going to get it together, or they were going to continue to build off of last year. But most importantly, I would like to see Caleb have at least some numbers that we don't normally see a quarterback have, for the Bears. 300 yards passing. If his stats were like Andrew Luck's first game, 309 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions, I would hate the interceptions, but if he threw for 309 yards, I would see you can see that would be an exciting game, because there's a lot of yards in there, there's just no touchdowns, right? At least passing touchdowns. There might have been like one other rushing touchdown. We lost it 17-14. I mean, that would be, I would be fine with that. What I don't want to see is 120 yards or 110 yards from Caleb Williams, and 0 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, and just him looking clueless, and the defense holds us in the game until the end, but we lose it because we can't drive down the field. That would be disappointing to me, but it's not going to take away my confidence in the kid.
Yeah, I don't know what we should expect game one, though, because you do have a powerhouse backfield that is built to bring a rookie into this season. And I've talked a little bit about DeAndre Swift, how he's so perfect because you can hand him the ball. He can also check down out of an audible. And I think Caleb will be ready to see how the defenses work. I do like that we have 4 preseason games, and I think he'll play at least a little bit in every one of them. Even the Hall of Fame game, I think he'll play at least a couple drives in that one. Probably not as much as the other games. But DeAndre Swift there, the narrative around the Bears quarterbacks kind of pisses me off. So even if we're going to check down, I want Caleb to not hand the ball off ever. I want all season just to be little flick passes. I want him to have 7,000 yards just to shut the narrative up about Bears quarterbacks. But you
break the record altogether with.
Exactly. Break every record right off the bat.
Yeah.
You might see 200 yards rushing in the first game. You might see creative stuff coming out of Waldron game 1 just to get him acclimated into the league. If that's the case, we won't see an interception. You'll see 150 yards passing, and then you'll still have the haters making comments and, he's no different than any other Bears quarterback. You can't throw the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just one of those things. We're getting close. We're just going to have to wait and see it. But I did like the comment earlier. I think it was by Notorious. He said, the last thing I want to be is a fan like the Panthers fans who were all hyped up on Bryce Young. The thing is, this is a very different situation. They traded away their best wide receiver, DJ Moore, who I don't think they valued as a true wide receiver 1 at the top of the league. I think they probably saw him as a low-level wide receiver 1. And then they had Adam Thielen and rookies. And, I mean, there really wasn't much there. So this is a roster that's built to make Caleb succeed no matter what. This is more of a CJ Stroud type of situation where even if he doesn't pass very well, CJ Stroud had some of the lowest poor pass rating in the league. He would throw Hail Marys up and just trust his receivers because he had such good receivers. I think this is more of that situation.
I agree.
I think it's built to succeed no matter what.
I agree. And the thing that I have always liked every year that we have a new, whether it's a new head coach and coordinator or a new offensive coordinator, is there's that unknown going into that first game. There's no game film on this Shane Waldron Bears offense. So, that's why I was I thought that we were going to beat the Packers with Getsy the first year with Getsy. That didn't happen. It was the Niners, wasn't it? We did win that game.
Yeah.
So that
rained out game. We had the defense won it, just like this. Defense won it. That
kind of added to my confidence in what I'm about to say, which is I like that first game with the unknown, new offensive coordinator, because there's no weeks of tape to game plan from. You're going off of preseason tape, and nobody uses that, right? I mean, of course they do to some extent, but you can't really game plan on that. So I just think that if there's ever going to be a first, I mean, hopefully it'll also be the first rookie to win the Super Bowl quarterback.
That'd be fun.
But it should be, in this case, it should be the first rookie to win his first game in the NFL, just because of all the factors we talked about. And I like the offensive coordinator being new and them not having game film. I think that helps.
Okay, I've kept you longer than I said I would. I feel bad. I said 15 minutes. I've kept you 25 minutes. I'm going to let you go. We'll see you tonight. Appreciate you coming on. I will put the link in this video. I think everyone knows Bears Country Podcast by now, but if you haven't, I will put the link when this is over in there. If you guys want to watch the show tonight, I'm going to go on with Shorty and the rest of the crew over at BCP. So thank you for coming on, Shorty, and we'll see you tonight.
Adam, I appreciate you having me. We'll see you soon. I just want to wrap this up by saying I love the Meet the Rookies. Every year that they do them, I am just waiting and waiting and waiting for them to come out. And just as soon as it came out today, I couldn't be more excited for Odunze. You know, when you get to see his family background and, you know, all that kind of stuff, it matters. It really does. And I'm excited. And I can't wait to see what you have to say about Odunze after this, because I think he's going to be that guy that they can't double team everyone. So we'll see what happens with him this year. He could be one of the most exciting pieces. So we'll talk about that a little bit more later when you come on the show.
Sounds good. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, brother. We'll see you soon. Bear down.
Okay, see you in a little bit. Bear down. All right, guys. Sorry for the delay. There's so much excitement, and I love chatting with all of you guys. I love chatting with other creators. I love just about Bears football. This is the time to be a Bears fan. It finally is paying off the years of struggle. I'm going to start off, and if you guys didn't know, the whole Odunze thing stemmed from this morning. I watched the Chicago Bears on their YouTube, on their podcast, whatever, Meet the Rookies, and it only validifies how much I'm falling in love with Odunze. I told you guys when the draft happened, he's my favorite player. I wanted us to draft Odunze for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks leading up, months leading up. I didn't think it was possible. From the very beginning, I said, no, we're going to trade back. That's just what he's going to do. We only have 4 draft picks. We're not going to have enough to be able to do this. We have to have more picks to be able to fill this roster out. Well, he's proven me wrong in every way whatsoever, and we ended up getting Odunze, and I'm happier than a freaking kid at Christmas time. And the biggest reason why, not only is Rome an exceptional and spectacular and phenomenal athlete, this is when we drafted him. This is what I ended up having. I showed you guys this on the channel. There's his RAS. And in fact, he's ran faster than that 4.45 in games. It's been clocked. It's been proven. So his RAS score is probably even higher, probably 9.95. If I went and manipulated it, we could probably manipulate it. But you see at the bottom there, the 3-cone, 7.93. He was upset with that. If you guys remember that, he stayed after in the combine, and he sat there working on it over and over and over again. And they came over and interviewed him, and he didn't do it for likes or clicks or all this stuff to be recognized as doing that. He genuinely wanted to fix his craft. He genuinely wanted to be better at it for him. Recording was already over. Everything was already done. He wanted to be able to have a better 3-cone score. It wasn't up to his standard. He hadn't met his own standard. He wanted to meet it. I freaking loved everything about it. All right, so not only his football ability, and I'm going to keep talking about his football ability. You see that low drop percentage, 3.2. Contested catch, 74.1. Over the season, 75.0. And then in the playoffs, it came down just a little bit just because it's such a short sample size. Rome, okay, the only other 2 in the modern time, like within the last decade, to have a contested catch and a drop rate that low are Justin Jefferson and Jalen Waddle. Tell me how that's worked out for those guys. It's an instant recipe for success to be able to have a high contested catch rate and a low drop rate of this exceptional caliber. Led the nation in yards. Touchdowns were among the leaders in touchdowns. If you didn't see the video the other day, I had little highlights of him in there. Any highlight reel you watch on him, he's spectacular to watch. Everything about him is fun on the field. Now, where I'm getting at with this, when you watch Meet the Rookies, guys, he is classy character. He just screams out that he is the type of guy you build your organization around. And going back to last year with the whole thing that happened with Jalen Carter, watching guys like Rashee Rice, and I'm not going to name all. I mean, there's a bunch this season. Off the field issues where they're getting arrested, having things happen. There is zero concern about a guy like Odunze ever having that happen. He's not going to be racing sports cars, getting drunk in the clubs, doing all that stuff. This is a guy you build your organization around, not just because of his football ability, but because of his character and everything on that. His Little League, his Pop Warner coach, he after one of his big games at Washington, where they won the game, he and his son jumped down on the field and came and celebrated. Rome didn't just ignore him and didn't just, I mean, and that's fine if he's caught up in the moment, celebrating with his, but he saw him and he said, guys, this is my little league coach, like propping the guy up. This is, okay, Rome, freaking amazing. Pure class, exactly. Now, here you are, Carl. Diane Smythe. Pure class. Couldn't agree with you more. If I've missed 1,000 comments, guys, just know that I appreciate all you guys commenting on here. I appreciate all of you guys. But Rome, okay, so he grew up. He was born in Little Provo, Utah, in Orem, Utah. It's actually where my son was born. I was living up there. And then I moved down here, came to college, finished here, school, everything, blah, blah, blah. I've lived here the last 20-ish years, a little less than 20 years. He moved down here when he was 3 years old with his mom and dad. Lived in Summerlin, which is across town from me, but Bishop Gorman is like the god of all schools here in Las Vegas. It's a nationally ranked school. They win tons of national championships and everything. And lots of NFL talent comes out of there. And he went there, and if you watch the show, just go watch it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Everything about Rome is exciting to me. Okay, so I wanted to bring up, let's bring up on Twitter. The other thing I'm looking at is the other thing I want to talk about with Rome. Okay, I'm trying to hurry through this now because we talked to Shorty for a little bit. But Rome is built for instant success. I'm going to give you guys one of my predictions. I've made a couple. I'm going to list them all out before the season starts. But one, we're going to sweep the Packers. It's going to happen. I think I can go on so many tangents tonight, guys. We're going to sweep the Packers. They're not all that in a bag of chips. They got lucky last year. And really, this whole thing that we have in our heads about losing 10 in a row, it's nothing. This is a totally different team. We're good. Throw the puke emojis, throw the cheese in there. I'm taunting people on Twitter. Get out of here, Packers. You're going back to the basement. It's happening. Jordan Love sucks. The end. The Lions are another story. I know a lot of Bears fans are a little bit cocky about the whole thing because we led them for 7 out of 8 quarters. The Lions have solidified their team. They're going to be a juggernaut. They're going to be hard to beat either time. I'm hoping we 50-50 with them. The other thing, okay, so I'm getting to my predictions. Odunze will lead this team in receiving yards this year. That's a big prediction, too, when you've got players like DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. He might not from game 1. He might not from game 2. As he gets his footing in the league, he's going to be rookie of the year along with Caleb Williams. They're going to be co-rookies of the year. In fact, I should go place a bet on that. He's going to have over 1,500 yards. And on this team, that's going to be very hard to do. There's one of my predictions. Done. You guys have it. All right, let's go to Twitter. I want to show you one more thing before we wrap this thing up, and I got to make sure we have enough time to get it. All right, let's go Hard Knocks. Let's just search for it. I didn't have anything saved there. All right, so on Hard Knocks, what you're seeing on the episode, so right now it's the Giants, okay, that are on Hard Knocks. I think everyone knows that at this point. The Giants are on Hard Knocks, and they are showing some of the interviews from the combine, and they're showing some of the different wide receivers. And I was so worried, and I'm sure a lot of you guys were too, that the Giants were going to take Odunze, and they should have. If you watch the thing from Hard Knocks, we'll just use it from Twitter, so hopefully we don't get in trouble. In fact, here's this one with Caleb. This was pretty cool to watch too, where Caleb, this isn't a Caleb video, so we'll go into it in a minute, but Caleb went on there and correctly dissected a play for Dable and showed him how he would run a play. And it was basically exactly how Brett Favre did with Dable back in the day. So it was kind of cool to see Caleb's knowledge. Caleb is a very smart dude. Here's Rome.
Working out at the combine.
Can you tell me every time Odunze is up if I'm not paying attention? I'm distracted.
Everyone's saying Odunze, number 1 today. Like, that's the guy you should be talking about. What a performance, as smooth as you will see.
Rome with the one.
What's your best trait? Not physical, not your speed or size, just your best trait.
I would say my versatility. You know, I played inside a lot in my career.
Perfect answer.
Some of my early on days, I'm a blocker. I could get down on the line and get the job done. And I think I play pretty well outside. So you can plug and pull me whatever you want. I'm going to go get the job done.
Why should we draft you?
I think, other than all my skills on the field, I'm a guy who's going to come into your locker room and bring the energy, bring the juice, adhere to a high standard and bring everybody along with me, enter that room as a leader, as someone who, people can look to as an example of how to do things right, and how to carry yourself in a way that, inspires others, inspire the big fan base and big market that you guys have.
Yeah, you're an impressive young man, man.
Appreciate it.
He said all the right things there. His interview was awesome. Let's go find the one with Malik Neighbors. This doesn't look like the whole thing. Let's see if I can search it here. Hard Knocks, Malik Neighbors.
New York Giants are now on the clock.
We should stay and pick, right? This is Atlanta. What are you thinking?
Our team's not built. We're still adding pieces.
This is
still have the draft
promo for the show. Here we go.
Dude's a baller. Neighbors are dumb. Neighbors.
They were already sold on Neighbors before they did the interview. This is why interviews are so
That'd be a
important.
good interview for us.
I don't think Neighbors did well in this interview at all. Watch this.
How do you handle losing?
Be
straight.
Not at all. I really hate. I hate losing more than I love winning.
Okay, and then how do you handle not being involved early in the game?
How do I handle it?
Yeah,
I handle it pretty tough, especially during the week.
That's what I'm looking for.
Been in the offense, in the week, putting in the work with the one offense, getting a lot of plays, known to be called for me. So if I'm not in those plays and not getting the ball, I'm pretty hard on it.
I don't mind that. I want guys that want to get the ball, and I want guys that hate losing, but you got to learn how to harness that a little bit.
Right.
I don't mind the competitive juice, man. That's what you need, some dogs.
Right.
I want guys that want the ball.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you lose. I mean, I lose it too as a coach, but got to learn how to harness that good.
Gotcha.
See the little hand tap at the end, like grabbing his shoulder, like, you did good. You got through the interview. Good job. It was just so weird, but divine intervention. I mean, how did we get Rome Odunze when you watch those two interviews? If you're looking at the talent, you're looking at the size, you're looking at the 6'3", 220-pound guy who's the best contested catch receiver in all of college football with a low drop rate, the best yards in the entire season. I mean, were they saying it was the Pac-12? Is that what they were? I mean, I don't know what their reasoning was for taking Malik Neighbors, but now you hear stuff about Malik Neighbors being at the club, being at the strip club, throwing money around, like just, I could not be any. This is the whole point of tonight, and I could have made a little video and put graphics and done everything else, but I wanted to come live because this Bears team is getting built right, and Rome is the perfect piece. And you see the chemistry that Caleb and Rome have right off the bat, and Caleb seems extremely grounded as well. I mean, all the way back from in middle school. If you guys haven't heard all these stories, go watch the Pivot podcast. Go watch I've done so much freaking stuff on Caleb now. It's not even funny. I probably know more than half the haters out there who still hate me for liking Justin Fields so much. I've done so much research on Caleb. The one story I really loved was at a young age. I think he was 14 years old. His mom and dad, the app where the phone is connected to the computer, they could see him texting a girl, and they could see late at night. And his mom said, he's supposed to be asleep. It's school night. He's supposed to be asleep. All right, honey, just let it pan it. Let it see how it goes. And a girl says, come and meet up with me. Come and meet up. I want to see you. And he's like, I can't. Why not? I got training in the morning. At 14 years old, discipline. You're not out there at the freaking club with strippers in your rookie season. When you're learning the playbook, you're trying to develop chemistry with your team. All I can say is I'm super freaking happy that we got Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, and then Kieran Amagaji. If you didn't watch his rookie one too, that's worth mentioning too. Excuse me. Kieran Amagaji, the discipline in his family too. And then even the way his dad talked to him. These guys are getting brought up right to be on this team. It was meant to be for us to get a Super Bowl. It was meant to be. I'm gonna preach it. But Kieran, I just met the coach of the Bears. He's here at the country club. We're playing golf. Dad, I don't want to get your butt down here. Like, it's so funny to watch those things, but he's disciplined too. And then you see Tory Taylor and the humility in his interview and his call and his family life with his family in Australia. And then you see Austin Booker and we're built right. That's all I got to say with this. We're built right. Now I'll go back to the comments. Sorry, guys. I've been a one-man show. Hard Knocks was brilliant, introducing Caleb 18 and Odunze to fans of the show. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, here we go. You guys saw it too. Yo, Adam, did you see that Malik Neighbors was at a strip club? Yes. Neighbors out throwing money around while Odunze is grinding it, saying a lot about character. Yeah, you see what Odunze is doing? While he's on his off season, he's back visiting mom and dad. He's getting things set up, getting things organized. Yeah. Did you see as well after the draft when he showed up to the Giants facility? He looked pissed off. Wasn't excited, wasn't like jumping up and down, excited to meet people, excited. Yeah, I'm here. I'm excited to be a Giant. Unlike Caleb and Rome, when you saw them on the 1920 football drive, when they showed them coming into Hallis Hall, they were all like giddy like kids and coming in to meet Coach Eberflus. And yeah, we're so excited to be here. Like, so different vibe. Now, Malik Neighbors might have a great career. He might be amazing, might be phenomenal. I'm not trying to knock him personally. I don't know the dude. But what I'm seeing when I'm comparing A and B, and I'm seeing we got Rome, and they could have taken Rome, freaking intervention, man. Somehow we got it in our lap. Somehow it fell to us at 9 when we didn't expect it. I was prepared for us to trade down. I almost thought we still would just because it was too good to be true. We're going to have Rome Odunze gifted to us in the lap, and it did happen. The pick is for Penix. Yeah, this is 100% true. Giants decided they were taking Neighbors before the college football season finished. The interviews were a waste of time on the Giants. That's why I tried to show that. That's exactly why I tried to show that. Is because if you look at those interviews, I've owned businesses. I've done interviews with people. If I'm taking two candidates and I'm seeing them both as lottery prospects, top 10 prospects, both of them were, I'm sitting them down in that interview and I'm looking at Rome Odunze and I'm 100% taking Rome Odunze. I watched that interview and I'm just like, done. Sign you up. This is my future. This is my franchise. I'm taking you and I'm happy about it. That's what I would have done. All right, let's see what else we got in the comments here. I wanted to keep it to 45 minutes. We're running close to that now. If you weren't here earlier, I am going to be on Bears Country Podcast later tonight with Carl and with Shorty and with PJ and all the guys over there. Tory Taylor's my favorite because he's Australian. Yeah, does. That's the screaming thing, mature. And even our other guys seem mature. And I mentioned this earlier, Tevin Jenkins, his first year was a little rough for him having to move from tackle, second year. And then his maturity, and you see his home life, and they've done some stuff with him and his wife and the baby and everything else. Like, the guys on this team do seem mature. Yeah, Rome is 22 or 23. We can look that up real quick. In fact, I'm going to do that real quick. 1 second, guys. Rome Odunze. He's 22. He's 22 years old. 22 years old right now. Very mature. Very mature. That's a resounding thing of this team right now. So, whoa. I am Kingdom Come. Rome trained my son and other kids here in Vegas. Still have the pick of Rome and my son, and what a surprise. He turned out a bear. Yeah, very, 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 very cool. Very cool experience for you, too. I love that. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. I have so much more I can share on Rome. In fact, I might do another video as we get closer to the season because he is my favorite bear right now. DJ Moore is right there, too. If you didn't see DJ Moore's stuff with him and his daughter at NASCAR and his other child as well, his son. His daughter already won me over a long time ago because I'm a daughter dad. I love how he interacts with her. I just think he screams class. He screams great father. Bear dads, bear down. I'm going to make a shirt of that sometime. Bear dads, bear down. So we'll see you guys later if you catch in with Bears Country Podcast. I hope you guys had a good time here. I appreciate every time I get to interact with you guys. It's so much fun to be here. So much fun to be a part of this show and be with you guys. It's coming 5 days away for the rookies to report, 8 days away for the vets to report. We're almost there. Until next time, claws up, bear down, and da bear.